Welcome, everyone, to the second annual Met Gala Radical Fashion Review.
Ooh, thanks
Welcome,
for
Radical
hosting.
Ramblings and Existential Gamer. Thank you for joining me.
Yeah, you're
Yes.
welcome. Thank you for having me.
Before we get started, I just want to say a disclaimer. I'm not a lawyer. I'm definitely not your lawyer. Nothing in this stream should be construed as legal advice. And if you are in need of a lawyer, please do seek one in your jurisdiction.
Um,
Great.
So that's how we're starting off. And I also want to say knowledge is power, which is something we're going to return to at the end of the stream and throughout it.
Indeed.
Great.
Radical is going to start us off by reading an article to us that's very on topic.
Okay.
Would you like to start us off?
Yes. Condé Nast strikes deal with employees threatening to disrupt Met Gala. Oh. The company on Monday reached a tentative contract agreement with unionized employees who said they were willing to disrupt Anna Wintour's carefully laid plans over stalled negotiations. Dun, dun, dun. Condé Nast and the union representing employees of Vogue and other publications owned by the company reached a tentative agreement early Monday on a long-in-the-works contract. The deal happened about 12 hours before the first guests were set to arrive at the Metropolitan Museum of Art for the Met Gala, and after unionized employees had threatened to disrupt the event over the pace of contract negotiations. Representatives for Condé Nast declined to comment for this article beyond sharing a message release the company sent after bargaining negotiations ended around 3 a.m. On behalf of the Management Bargaining Committee and leaders throughout the business, we are pleased to come to tentatively agreed terms on a contract with the union, it read. Mark Allen Berger, a unit chair for the Condé Nast Union, said in a news release sent on Monday that reaching a tentative agreement was a result of members' commitment to do whatever it took to get a contract, including walking off the job ahead of the Met Gala. Leading up to the event, which is co-hosted by Anna Wintour, the editor-in-chief of Vogue, and costs $75,000 per person, the Condé Nast Union pledged to continue to take action as needed to bring the publisher to the bargaining table. In a post on X, the union warned on Saturday night that management could meet us at the table or meet us at the Met on Monday.
Ooh, them's fighting words.
Fighting words. The tentative agreement came after over a year of bargaining for union members to create their first contract.
Ugh.
In addition, a year. In addition to establishing just cause as the basis for firing employees, the agreement includes wage increases, additional parental leave, and hybrid work protections for the approximately 540 members of the Condé Nast Union, which represents employees from titles including Vanity Fair, GQ, and Architectural Digest, in addition to Vogue staff members. The New Yorker, Pitchfork, and Ars Technica maintain their own unions and contracts. Oh, that's a great sign.
Yeah.
Bosses wear Prada, workers get nada. Damn.
That is
For
awesome.
real.
On Wednesday, members of the Condé Nast Union, which held a one-day work stoppage in January, participated in a May Day rally at Condé Nast headquarters at One World Trade Center in Manhattan. Later that week, staff members also covered Miss Wintour's neighborhood in flyers reading, "Anna wears Prada, workers get nada," taping them to lampposts and slipping them under windshield wipers. Mr. Berger, who works as a social media manager at Vanity Fair on Thursday, said such actions were organized with the hope that we can get a contract together and that everyone can attend and watch and work in that gala as they normally would. Everyone at Condé Nast really, really loves their job. It's a workplace unlike any other, Mr. Berger said. It's a huge achievement to be involved in conversations that are shaping and influencing culture. Obviously, The Devil Wears Prada is a huge cultural touchstone for us especially, he added. The idea that 100 girls would kill for this job, those days are over.
Not really sure that you want Devil Wears Prada to be like the flagship movie of your company.
Right?
I'm just saying.
Indeed.
So thank you, Radical, for reading. That is sort of the backdrop for our Met Gala fashion review.
Great.
The idea that the employees who work for Anna Wintour and these other high-end publications,
Mm-hmm.
they're underpaid, they are not getting the things they want, right? And so they had to put the pressure on that we are gonna picket your event, your fancy event, if you don't give us what we want. And I guess they settled just in time.
Perfect.
So the theme for the Met Gala this year was Sleeping Beauty's reawakening fashion.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was something about a garden.
was that real?
Oh, maybe not.
I don't know.
I think this was what the official title, but yeah, I guess like Sleeping Beauty is kind of floral theme. I don't know. Like I think of Sleeping Beauty like the ballet is
Hmm.
Yeah.
floral.
I know we made jokes about a time garden, but I think we were just joking around. I
Joke.
don't know.
Nicki
So let's start
Minaj.
off. I think this one is very sculptural. Like a lot of the dresses were really not really
We're
clothing.
yeah.
Are her arms stuck like that?
Oh.
Think
Maybe she couldn't put them down,
Part
I'm
of-
supposing. But
part of the sculpture.
I do think it's cute.
Ballistic
Yeah.
says, given the theme, I'd literally go in pajamas with messy hair and bags under my head.
That's even cuter.
Sleeping Beauty.
Mm-hmm. Here we have a couple more. Blue theme.
I've heard of Sabrina Carpenter. I have no idea who the other person is. Joy Randolph.
She's actually wearing a Gap.
Oh wow.
Huh.
The Gap.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's denim.
Oh, what?
Interesting.
It's like a Canadian tuxedo, as they say.
Double denim.
She doesn't look very happy in that picture.
Don't make fun of my culture, Lisa.
She looks intense, I agree. She also has some talons there.
No kidding.
Yes. I don't know if she hates her dress or not. And I'm sorry, on the left, is that blue thing part of her dress?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like
It's like
mermaid cut.
puffy, yeah.
Taking
It's like
mermaid
she's
cut.
like
Like a train.
in a
I don't know.
cloud.
What? Oh. Yeah. Okay.
Mel V says Divine's looks like her dress is Aurora dress by the bust. Yeah, it
Like-
has that kind of
Like actual Sleeping Beauty, yeah.
yeah, 1700s or something. Lana Del Rey. Sort
What
of
are those
a-
shoes?
a deer hoof or something.
Ooh.
I do like the branches. I don't know. It's just
The
caught in a
vines?
tree.
Yeah.
They look like vines, like thorny vines, maybe?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Also-
Interesting.
This one's giving malaria net or beekeeper net.
That was a theme for sure.
It seems like an idea they use, so.
Yeah.
Right. Ballistic asks, what is this supposed to be? I don't know.
Like her
She's
dress.
caught
Well,
in the branches.
Sleeping Beauty, it's like the well, someone said in the comments that it's the Sleeping Beauty was the name of the museum exhibit, but the theme was supposed to be Garden of Time.
Okay.
It wasn't a joke. Okay.
Gotcha.
So, but either way, like Sleeping Beauty does have that like the woodsman theme
Mhm,
to it, you
mhm,
know?
mhm.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not
we
getting my fairy tales mixed up.
We need expired milk here to make sure everyone follows the rules.
Yes.
Lana really reminds me of Maleficent.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's really kind of a wild, yeah, it definitely just looks like a mosquito net on a bed or something. All right, what do we have next here? Oh, I just thought these were all really pretty.
They are all really pretty.
Yeah, they are.
Also, Demi Lovato is a woman again, I see.
I guess.
She took a
What?
little
How do we
detour
know?
into
You can be.
they territory.
You can be a they them and dress like that.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, I
No,
forgot.
Remember, there's no rules at all.
that's right.
They all do look really nice, though. These are all really pretty. I love the pink one with the flowers like cascading down. Very pretty.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought these had a similar kind of silhouette too of like
Yeah, it's like classic.
sleek.
Yeah. I don't think I like the left-hand one though. But I don't think
Naomi?
it's because it has tassels on it.
Yeah.
I'm just
okay.
not a
Not a
tassels
tassel
person.
girl.
No.
Personal
Also,
affront.
her face looks really good, but it doesn't look like her face.
Naomi Campbell?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would never, if I didn't see the name written there, I would not have thought that that was her.
Yeah. Like she looks amazing. She's pretty old, but like
Who is
she
that, though?
she looks
Mm.
Whose
like
face is that?
somebody else.
Not Naomi's.
Okay. We've got Michelle
yes.
Yeoh looking like
A burrito.
oh good, that's good. I was gonna say Passover kitchen. Do you know how Jewish people cover their kitchens in tinfoil for Passover? That was the first thing
That's
I thought of.
great.
But yeah, definitely burrito, Chipotle order. And these are both Balenciaga.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, and
not surprising.
I love Serena Williams, but that looks like one of those like disaster relief blankets.
Yes, thank you. I was just thinking that. She's in an emergency situation right now.
Yeah.
Serena
Right.
Williams is a legend, though. Come on.
Okay, should we step it up here?
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
Ready.
Who's this?
I know who it is.
You do?
Yeah.
Mhm.
But that's because I already knew.
Does anyone in the chat know who made the red carpet?
Who made the red carpet?
It's Franklin Roosevelt,
Mm-hmm.
President of the United States from 1933 to 1945.
Lily, get out of here.
What's the significance of 1933 looking back in American history class?
Mm-hmm. I mean, can I answer or should we let the chat answer?
You can't you are Canadian.
Okay.
So you're
Well,
you
I know
you're,
some stuff.
You're America North.
All right.
You can you're a smart lady. Let's open it up to the chat first, see if anybody knows what was at the height in 1933. Eighth got it. It's the Great Depression.
Mhm.
Why is the Great Depression relevant to this conversation? Well, that's what we're about to find out. In
As Megan asks.
1933, the height of the Great Depression, 25% of American workers were unemployed.
Jeez.
Hard to even fathom.
That's huge.
You know what, though? I have a hot
Yes.
take. I think
Yes.
that number would be the same today if, like, the reporting bodies didn't monkey with it and try to make the unemployment lower. Like, how many people just have part-time jobs and they can't find anything else?
Right.
Or, like, are 1099 employees, which aren't real.
Well, 1099.
What
Yeah,
does
but
that
like,
mean?
it means you don't get like.
Well, we're actually going to go into what that
okay,
means.
Yeah,
shortly.
yeah, okay. No
But,
spoilers.
yes, definitely like gig workers and stuff like
Yeah.
that. They are propping up for sure. That's a really good point, Existential. I'm glad I invited you.
Oh, thank you.
So, why Franklin Roosevelt was so important? As we are looking at these people from the Met Gala, remember that he was of their class. He was from one of the wealthiest families in America. And when he became president at the height of the Great Depression, he said, "You know what? I'm going to step out of my class and I'm going to really help the American people who are so suffering and struggling right now." It would be equivalent to if Jeff Bezos became president and gave everybody universal health care.
Okay.
That is that's, how crazy good of a president he was. Okay, so the New Deal, some of the things. Tennessee Valley Authority. Tennessee Valley didn't have electricity in
Oh my
1933.
God.
Yeah, so he started the
Wow.
Tennessee Valley Authority not only to give people jobs, but to also create infrastructure throughout Tennessee. The Works Progress Administration hired out of work writers and artists to work for the government, to create murals and to create written
Wow.
works. And the Civilian Conservation Corps hired tons of young men to create parks. And yeah, maybe you've probably been to one.
The national park system.
Yeah, and state parks and yeah, really, really great. And this is what helped the country rise out of the poverty of the Great Depression. He
Very cool.
also created Social Security and unemployment insurance,
Dang.
things that are hugely important to workers and the working class and the poor class. How did Roosevelt accomplish all of this? These
How did he?
ambitious goals of pulling us up out of this Great Depression that we were in. How did he
How?
do it?
I don't
It
know.
takes a lot of money. It
No
takes a
kidding.
lot of money.
Oh, he funded it himself?
No.
Mhm.
He taxed the rich.
Hey.
Yay! Yes, something we could learn from.
Hell yeah,
Learning
FDR.
from the past, learning from history. The Revenue Act of 1935 created a wealth tax which taxed the highest incomes at a marginal tax rate of 75%. So
Damn.
if you made over $1 million, every $1 million you made over that, 750,000 were going to the federal government.
Damn.
So that's very different than, say, like we have Donald Trump now, who
Yeah.
didn't pay any taxes for many years and then paid $750 in taxes,
Wow.
which is less than I pay, and I'm
Right.
Yeah.
poor.
Right.
Wow, they don't make him like this guy anymore.
They really
No.
don't. He was one of a kind. I think he was one of the best presidents, and yeah.
Carla in the chat has a great comment. The thought of a current day president doing even 5% of that sounds insane.
Oh,
Honestly.
they would never.
Would
Never.
never. All right. So when we talk about those ultra rich people, maybe we're talking about people like Tommy Hilfiger and his wife.
Mhm.
He's worth $500 million. His yacht is worth $46 million.
Like, I just, like, I cannot do anything but laugh at the idea of spending, let's call it $50 million on a yacht. Like,
He,
Yeah.
yeah.
what?
And you know what's crazy is Jeff Bezos's yacht is worth even more than Tommy Hilfiger's net worth.
Oh
Oh
Jeff
my
my-
Bezos has a yacht
God.
that's worth $500 million.
Why?
Oh my.
Yeah, why?
But why though?
Why?
That, like,
Isn't it shameful and embarrassing
Yeah.
to spend your
that,
money in that way when there are so many people out there suffering in poverty?
You know what's really sad is we didn't seem to learn any of the lessons from the Gilded Age in the early 20th century, and a lot of authors and artists and stuff back then were critiquing it.
Yeah.
I mean, I went with my mom to the Newport mansions, and these mansions were only summer homes, and we were like gobsmacked at everything was
Yes.
coated in gold and reliefs
And they're
and
so big.
so big for one family. And it's a summer home,
For one family to be there for 2 months.
right? Exactly.
Yeah.
God.
And that was
And
called the Gilded Age.
yes, and we should have learned to never go back there, and the wealth that's accumulated at the top now is even worse.
Oh yeah, we're back.
We're back and better than ever.
Yeah, and
Lisa,
now they seem to have even more safeguards to protect their wealth than ever before.
Absolutely. We're going to talk about that as we go. Tori says, the way you pulled us in with the Met Gala and hit us smack in the face of the Great Depression history lesson. So,
See?
yes,
well, we are in Lisa's class. Professor Lisa is here. Lisa, when you
Oh,
said that Bezos's yacht is worth $500 million, like it
yes.
literally took my breath away briefly. I was like,
Well, and also what's crazy about
oh,
these mega yachts too is they are staffed full time, whether the person uses them 6 days a year or 6 weeks a year or whatever. There is a staff of, could be 30 people or so who live on these mega yachts
my God.
in docked. They didn't even go anywhere.
I feel
Or
like
they
God.
yeah,
I read somewhere that these people are like indentured servants,
absolutely.
basically.
Yeah.
Maybe it was even you that said
Where
that.
do you keep a yacht? Like,
I don't know.
I know at a marina, obviously, but like that's just, it seems crazy to me to imagine like these super yachts just like parked at a marina somewhere. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's hard to fathom. Oh my God. Oh my
Well,
God.
fathom it because it's real.
Mm.
Abby says, "Oh, we didn't talk about
Perfect
Kim's
timing.
look yet." Yeah, perfect timing. Um, this picture doesn't even really do it justice, but yeah, her waist was so
Like,
like
upsetting.
yes,
Yeah.
not healthy.
No.
No. But Kim is known for going to the extremes for the Met Gala, like the training she'll do and like the um weight loss measures and stuff to fit into whatever. Like it's so ugh.
Yeah, I can only imagine. I have to say though, her dress isn't that bad. Like it's kind of
No, I think
pretty.
it's nice. I like
It's not
Kendall's.
that bad, but it's so hard to get past the whole
I
waist
know.
thing.
I
I
know.
know. Like
I
I just keep
Like,
staring
let
at
it
it.
out a few
when
inches.
I
Yeah.
saw that that one picture of her where you can really see how horrible her waist looked, I was like,
Yeah,
is she going to like pass out on these stairs right now? Like how is she
right.
breathing?
How's she
Yeah.
like? Where are her organs? Where are her ribs?
Ugh.
Also, she has kind of like it looks like a sweater or something on the top. It is a little like I don't know about that.
Like a shawl, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did. I don't know. I have no idea, but I did see some comment. I think it was on Twitter or something saying like, because Kim is very open about her psoriasis struggles, and I
Oh.
saw a
Oh.
comment that like maybe she's having a flare up, and that's why. Because otherwise, I don't feel like she would wear something like that.
Yeah, now that I zoom in, it kind of looks like a sweater you'd keep at the in the cubicle at work.
Right.
That's what I
Just
was
kind of
thinking.
tied up
A little
in the
shrug or something.
yeah. Yeah.
Who needs ribs if you can be hot? She looks like Jessica Rabbit. That's a good comment.
Yeah, but Jessica was just drawn that way.
Of
Not
course,
Right.
it's only
human.
the female attendees having to contort themselves. Well, that's yeah. I think the funny thing about us having a radical feminist fashion police or whatever is like we don't have to say like that stuff is like a given,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
right? It's like
right. We don't have to go Barney level with it. We can just
that's a given. It's a given that the women are all going to look totally ridiculous and uncomfortable. The men are all going to be in suits because they get to have dignity or whatever.
Yeah, and the
It's a
women are
given that
decorations.
yes, they're wearing a face full of makeup. The men, some of them are, most of them aren't. Lily says it looks like she was in the process of putting on a sweater and then stopped.
yeah.
Also, PT's comment just below that is great.
Revolving your entire life around the male gaze is so crazy. Like she will never relax into old age. Oh,
Oh
yeah, that is
no.
a
Well,
great comment.
Kim Kardashian is on the record saying that if like aging is her worst fear, and that if literally eating human shit would stop her from aging, she would do it.
Oh.
She said that point blank. She would do it.
That's very Like,
Um,
I'm kind of speechless.
I know.
unhinged, a little unhinged.
Unhinged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Although I've known people in my own life that have that mentality though. Like they're not even
Hmm.
celebrities. They think their looks are their entire worth and they freak out about getting older and it's actually pretty sad.
Yeah.
Extremely.
Yeah.
All right. I did say knowledge is power,
Okay.
and we are talking about unions, and we were talking about FDR and the things that he did to lift up the American worker. And one of them was creating the NLRB. Does anyone in the class know what the NLRB is?
Quick,
I
get on
have
Google.
some kind of a guess. Now, can I guess?
You can guess. Absolutely.
I'm guessing National Labor something
Yeah.
board.
Yes, it's the National Labor Relations Board.
Aha.
It's a
Hey,
federal agency created in 1935 to safeguard employees' rights to unionize and organize. So, who out there is an employee of a private company?
me.
Not me. I'm working the public sector.
I am an independent contractor, so this
Hey.
does not apply to me, but does apply to Existential Gamer and maybe some people in the chat. And it's very important to know what this is because as an employee, you have a lot of rights. It's important to know that you have rights because a lot of people don't even know that. And it's easy for a company to come in with anti union propaganda, as many of them do, and to
Mm.
even
Yep.
say, "Hey, I'm your boss. I'm allowed to eavesdrop on your conversation. I'm allowed to fire you if you talk about unionizing."
Mm.
Actually, they are not. That
Damn.
is
Yep.
against the law, and it's the National Labor Relations Board that is your safeguard at your job when you wanna talk about organizing or you wanna discuss your salary with your coworker or you wanna discuss the safety conditions of your job with your coworker. You cannot be fired for any of that stuff.
Yeah, they will definitely try to gaslight you. I've had many jobs. I've only ever worked private sector except one stint at a nonprofit, but yeah, they'll lie to you and they'll
They
tell
will.
you, yeah, they'll tell you that you can't do this or that. And I was an office manager under a president of a company, and he would lie about the worst shit ever. And that's how I learned a lot about labor working
Mhm.
there. Yeah. Changed my
Yeah.
politics overnight. Like I went in, I was in my 20s. I went in like a libertarian and I came out of that job a leftist.
Oh,
There you
good.
go, yeah.
I
And
was like,
that's
this
you
is
know,
all
what
lies.
when we talk about being leftists, really the core of being a leftist is being pro workers' rights.
Hmm.
And, there's a lot of socially left causes too, but the heart of the left is really being for workers' rights. Eighth asks, how does that interact with right to work states? Because I feel like it works a lot differently than that in the South. So
I have a
if
question.
if you can prove that something is like very obvious, like if your boss sends you an email and says, "Hey, don't come into work tomorrow. You're fired because I heard you talking to your coworker in the break room about wanting to form a union."
Hmm.
You'd have a cut and dry case. You go to the National Labor Relations Board, they will help you. And, otherwise, yes, a lot of states can, and we're going to talk shortly about a case where the company will say, oh, well, we're just coincidentally,
Yeah.
firing you
Mm.
for something else.
Yeah.
And that's when, maybe if you decide to, you could go to court over it. But
Yeah. The companies, they're not going to come out and admit it
of course
unless
not.
they're really stupid. I
Unless
mean,
they're stupid, right?
yeah. I
Which
mean,
sometimes happens.
if they could make you work for free and then steal your wage, they would do it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
It-
absolutely.
we had so much wage theft and didn't like bonuses being dangled as carrots. you know,
Absolutely.
and then they move the goalposts and say, oh, actually, you didn't make your metrics this month. So, you know, yeah, they try all kinds of tricks. So I argue with my libertarian relatives. They're like, capitalism evens itself out. Businesses will do the right thing. It's
No.
like, no, they don't. Are you
No.
blind?
They are there to exploit you, and you have to protect yourself.
Yeah.
You have to have that attitude as a worker that your employer is there to get rich by exploiting you.
Mm-hmm.
And they are not looking out for you ever. They are
No,
never looking out for your interest. They are only ever looking out for their interest. I want to point
exactly.
out some comments. Sloan says, I don't know why in the States unions are so demonized.
That's a long story.
Yeah, we're going to be talking a little bit about that story. Robin says the union busting tactics companies use are so egregious that it makes me sick when I think about getting a job soon. Um,
I have a question.
yes.
What does it mean, the right to work states? What does that mean?
It means that they can fire you for any reason.
Yeah.
So, you don't have, in other countries, it does not work this way at all, right? Like sometimes people from other countries are totally shocked that in some states in the US it works this way, but they don't have to give a reason when they fire you. They can just fire you. And that's it. So,
Mm-hmm.
Great.
yeah. Yeah. Robin says Ronald Reagan. So, yeah, he's definitely a
Yep.
big part of. He was the anti-FDR. We had
Big
FDR,
time.
who was our country's grandpa, looking out for everybody, and then and you know what's crazy too is Ronald Reagan was actually the president of the Actors Union.
Lord
you
have
know,
mercy.
Yes,
these
and yet
people love rules for them and none
Yeah,
for
for thee,
everybody
but not for
else.
me.
Exactly. Our favorite phrase.
Yes.
exactly. All right. On that note, we
Okay,
have.
I loved this. I'm not
I
good.
think this looks so itchy.
It looks itchy, but it looks cool. Like, it looks like she rolled in the sand. I mean, I know that's the point, but it
Yes.
really just looks like she's rolled in the sand. I think it is so cool in a world where everything is black tuxedos and regular
Yeah.
ball gowns. Like, this is cool.
The way it fits her is like she looks like
Perfect.
she's carved out of sand, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
sculpted out of sand.
Oh, yeah. Tyler.
It is cool, but she has to get carried around all night.
I know that's, yeah, ridiculous. But I thought the
Talk
dress was
about
cool.
dignity or lack thereof.
Also, like, how does it stay on the dress and not just like get everywhere?
Yeah, especially when they're manhandling her like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hmm.
Maybe it only looks like sand and it's not actually.
They
I
said
don't
it
know.
was made with 3 different types of sand.
What?
Whoa.
Okay, that blows my mind. I don't know then. Magic?
Yeah. Well, I guess I'm assuming there's fabric also.
Yeah.
But like what is like glue stick? Like
I don't
Gorilla
know.
Glue.
They fired it in a kiln.
Oh, it must be incredibly heavy. I didn't even think of that. Yeah. It just I
Yeah.
feel like it just feels so nasty. Like,
Oh, I think it's cool.
right?
I mean, it's
Yeah.
cool, but
It
like I agree with Lisa too. Like it just
yeah.
seems really
Itchy.
Certainly
itchy.
impractical.
And at the end of the night, can you imagine the relief when you thump that thing onto the floor? Like, oh my God. Boom.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I
But-
always think of like I haven't had this experience in a very long time, but like when you go to an event at night and you're wearing high heels and then and makeup and all the hair and everything and then like you come home and you just take it all off,
Oh,
like it's
so
literally
good.
the best feeling. And like that
So
should tell us something.
I know,
Right.
The fact
right?
that that's the best feeling is
It
The
to
best
tells
part of the
you
night.
goblin mode is the natural mode. So yeah. I feel like that 24/7 now. It's amazing.
The best,
Yes,
isn't it?
that's right. You get to have that amazing feeling all the time.
Yes.
Here's Mindy
Oh.
Kaling.
Another
Interesting.
sculptural piece.
I think it's kind of like soft serve or something,
Yeah.
or
It
like
looks really
taffy.
cool. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Taffy. Yes,
Yeah.
it does look like on those like taffy pulling machines, right? Yeah.
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 Lily wants to eat it.
Yeah, it does look
Mood.
yummy. Also, the color. I put these two together because the color is sort of similar.
Mhm. Yes,
There
very nice.
wasn't a lot of bright color
I know. I was just
in the
thinking
night. It was a lot of
about.
blacks and whites and
Mhm.
muted nudes and stuff.
I was just thinking about that one
Mhm.
year when Katy Perry wore a hamburger. Like, why can't we have more of that?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the people were just taking themselves so seriously. It's almost like embarrassing a little bit. Oh, Adrian, you're
Yeah.
hearing Existential Gamer.
Oh, hi, Adrian.
Ooh.
Flowers also was a big theme.
Yes, the garden.
Yeah, the applique flowers, like
Yes,
the
the
craft
Michaels.
project
Yeah,
Michael's flowers.
Joanne. um,
Oh,
Tori
this
says,
is,
have yet to see one pajama set.
I know, right? This is the boob squisher one. Oh my
Yes,
God.
that looks so uncomfortable.
Right?
Just like
Talk about
flattened to your. Oh,
it's
ew.
yeah, it's pinching. Ugh. Talk about the relief when you take it off at the end of the night. That's
Yes.
gonna be
And that
so,
dress looks heavy too. It looks thick. Like it looks,
yeah,
Yeah,
all the
weighty.
beading.
yeah. I think I also put these two together because they're sort of a contrast to like the one on the left. It looks like just a dress. It looks like she's just wearing a dress, you know?
Hmm.
Versus the one on the right is so constricting and
It, I don't know if she meant to do that. It looks like her seams, the seamstress person didn't size it correctly. I don't know. Unless that's what they were
could
going
be. I mean,
for.
I feel like a lot of these dresses are probably one of a kind and all of that stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
I like Lily's comment, mammogram
Oh,
dress.
yeah. Oh my God.
Ouch.
Yeah, fun.
I don't know who either of these women are.
I don't either.
Nope. Same.
But what I do know is what your rights are as a private sector employee.
Tell us.
You have the right to form a union. You have the right to join a union. You have a right to organize with your fellow employees. And you have a right to be fairly represented by your union.
Hell yeah.
And you have the right to engage in non-union concerted activity. So let's talk a little bit about some examples of protected concerted activities.
Ooh.
One example, 2 or more employees addressing their employer about improving their pay. So
Yes.
you
Yeah.
and your buddy, your work buddy, go up to your boss and you say, you know what, the two of us are not happy with how much we're getting paid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can't fire you for that.
They
You're
cannot fire
fired.
you for that. No, they can't. Yeah, you cannot be fired for that legally.
Yeah.
Um, 2 or more employees discussing work-related issues beyond pay, such as safety concerns, or even just how much you hate your boss. You're
Yeah.
allowed to do that. They are not allowed to spy on you, eavesdrop on you. That is illegal.
Oh.
And you can even do this on social media. There have been cases where employees were talking on Facebook. In one employee post about how much they hate their boss, another employee from the same job responds as a comment, and that was seen as concerted, protected activities.
So yeah,
Two,
well,
yeah,
what about people getting fired for stuff they post on their personal social media? Or what they talked about in COVID is some tech companies are installing like keylogging spyware and
Yeah.
like saying you need to keep your camera on at all times because they want to look at you while you work from
Ooh.
home. Like, does that go against this?
That would have to, right? Because you're in
All
your
right.
private home.
Yeah, and your social media is your personal
Right.
space, one would think, but people can and do get fired for something their boss doesn't like on Facebook.
Well, and sometimes when that happens, it's the employee doesn't realize that they have the rights that they do have, and every
Right.
situation is different. Like I
True.
said, I'm not your lawyer, so, you have to take each case for what it is. But yeah, there have definitely been cases that have come in court where it's been found that two employees complaining about their boss on Facebook publicly has, and then fired because of it, that they were wrongly fired.
Yeah.
As an employee too, you can also go on behalf of other employees to your boss and ask for more money or ask for workplace conditions. So you don't have to be part of a union to do
Mhm.
these what are called protected concerted activities. It's
Do-
acting in concert is what that means. So again, you don't have to have a formal union, you don't have to have a union president and all that kind of stuff, but you can do these
Union-y things.
exactly.
Very good.
Yeah,
Very good.
very good. All right.
Wow, a man not in a suit.
A man not in a suit, and not only that, but a billionaire kind
Oh,
of
boy.
being a crazy billionaire.
I prefer.
But it's also like we see billionaires as they don't have to do all this crazy crap, but then yeah, sometimes they do.
But when you're rich, you're eccentric, not crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah, true. I like my billionaires eccentric. I don't know. This is great.
Yeah, and I like this too. I'm appreciative that it's not a black suit.
Yeah, for
Like
once.
a gossamer loincloth
You go, Gustav.
Yes.
and like diamond encrusted bodysuit gloves.
Why is he there though? Is the thing.
Because he's rich.
Yeah.
Well,
He bought the ticket for
He bought the
75K.
ticket. Yeah, he probably bought a table.
Yeah.
This one looks pretty cool, actually.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah,
I like the
I do too.
scarf.
It's creative.
I want to touch the scarf. It looks soft.
Yes, it does look soft. It has a whole like long train too.
Yeah.
I just Googled him.
Mm-hmm.
He's 31.
Okay.
And at the age of 19, he served a 2-week prison sentence for reckless driving and overtaking at a speed of 116 kilometers in a 60-kilometer zone.
Hey, right up your alley. I think you
Yeah.
guys would make a good couple. That sounds like affluenza.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah. Hashtag eccentric billionaire stuff. Yeah.
It's fine until we get to the shoes. They look like the Toms or something.
Yeah, little loafer. What the heck is this?
Oh,
What are
okay.
those?
that's unfortunate.
I kind of don't hate it.
Yeah, I
He
don't
looks
hate
like
it
he
either.
does intense skincare, like his face.
I
Yeah.
can't see his face on my screen. Dang it. It's covered up with the live button.
Oh.
Oh,
I like it.
Tom Ford.
Wow. Wouldn't think he was worth $2 billion.
Yeah, because he does all makeup
And movies.
and that's the makeup. Girls, make sure you're buying your makeup so you can make these men richer.
Yeah. Come on, don't you want to buy Tom Ford a mansion?
A $51 million mansion.
It looks like a mall.
It does.
Probably
Shopping
is.
center,
I bet it
right?
has a mall inside. You can just go in, fully staffed.
Kind of looks like my dentist's office.
Just an industrial park.
I think that these numbers, when you say 2 billion or 51 million, we're so numb to it to not really
crazy.
appreciate just how insane that actually is. It's like,
Yeah.
because we're just so used to hearing it as, poor plebes, basically.
Well, and also I think about when we were kids and teenagers, and Bill Gates was the richest man in the world, and it was what he had $1 or $1.2 billion at that point.
Yeah.
Right.
And
yeah.
that was
Right.
seen as
Insane.
whoa.
Back then $1 million was retire money, and now you can't retire on that.
No.
Like if you win $1 million, because
Oh, a
you know,
million. I thought you said we're saying a billion.
no,
I'm
no,
like,
no, no, 1 million.
yeah, a
And
million.
then,
I'm yes.
yeah,
It's insane.
right. And our brains can't really comprehend amounts like that,
No,
though.
we
No.
cannot. We
Well,
absolutely
It's
cannot.
hard for
what's
our
that thing
brains.
that's like a million seconds is like what, 17 hours or something?
Oh, is
And
it?
I don't know what the conversion is, but the point. And then a billion seconds is 34 years.
Yeah, something like
Oh,
that.
wow.
Right.
That really does put it into perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
So million seconds is 12 days. Okay. 12 days. And a billion seconds is 31 years.
Oof.
That's the difference between a million and a billion.
Yeah,
Like,
that's crazy. That does like
that's
It really does.
crazy.
Yeah.
I'm slightly over a billion seconds old.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
wild. But a
Well,
million seconds is like a week and a half from now.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
People like to talk about
Mm.
meritocracy, but no one works so hard that they deserve that amount of money.
Mm-mm.
No one.
No, if we lived in a real meritocracy, the people working in retail and fast food would be
Uh-huh.
millionaires.
Or
And
like
all the
fruit pickers.
right,
Yes,
yeah, yeah,
right.
agricultural
The woman who
employees.
cleans the YMCA.
Yeah,
She works
Mhm.
hard. She works
exactly.
harder than Jeff Bezos.
The
Absolutely.
freaking nannies and childcare workers, those two teachers, and then all the CEOs would be paid minimum wage or nothing.
Exactly. Well, yeah, even Jeffrey Bezos's factory workers or whatever shipment center workers, like
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Amazon warehouse workers
they
that
work
have to
so
piss.
hard.
Yeah, they got to
They have to-
piss in bottles.
And
exactly.
are
They can't.
dying on the warehouse floor.
Yeah, they get paid what, like $15 an hour,
That's so
maybe?
fucked up.
Right. Carla says billionaires are immoral. Adrian
Mm-hmm.
says we shouldn't tax billionaires very much because I might be one someday. A
Yeah,
lot of people do have that
Yeah.
attitude.
yeah,
They're like temporarily not rich.
Right.
yeah. It used to be called temporarily embarrassed millionaires, but
Oh
now
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the word I was looking for.
millionaires are irrelevant now. It's all about
Oh yeah.
billionaires.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, speaking of Jeffrey Bezos, let's talk about some unions in the news, shall we?
We shall.
Amazon had their first union formed. It was a couple of guys in their apartment in New York City saying, hey, you know what? We should unionize. And they did. And Amazon employees are subject to all sorts of anti union propaganda constantly. That's my understanding. They're shown videos when they get hired there about why
Mhm.
unions are evil and why they shouldn't join one and why they'll be out of a job if they join one.
Mm.
Um, and even right now in the news, there are Amazon workers trying to unionize, and Amazon is doing everything in their power to stop them. So
It's like
one
the most powerful company in the world, pretty much. And like,
right, and like don't tell me Jeff Bezos doesn't have a little money to go around so that these people can have a bathroom within a 2-minute walk of where they work instead of not having a bathroom and having to pee in a bottle, or pregnant
Right.
women workers in the distribution center who are fainting because it's so hot and they're so overworked, and
It's outrageous.
Like
it's outrageous.
maybe Jeffrey could get a $380 million yacht instead.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's such a sacrifice, though.
Right? Good Lord.
No one gets to be a billionaire without exploiting people.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
And exploitation is just a euphemism. It's like a nice way to say slavery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because companies, in addition to the lies they tell, they'll also gaslight us into thinking our pitiful wages are good wages.
Yes.
They'll be like, oh, you're making $20 an hour. I mean, that's good, right? If minimum wage is $7.50 or whatever, you're good. But then, of
Mhm.
course, it's not good. Nobody can live on that on their own in the high cost of living. Everywhere's high cost of living, honestly.
Yep.
Try to
Definitely.
live on a $20 an hour yearly salary on your own next to your job.
Right.
Mm.
Impossible.
Yeah.
Challenge level impossible.
Yeah. And have a car because you need a car too, because this is America and we have shit public transport.
Yeah.
So,
Starbucks is another company that's been
Mhm.
violently anti-union. Starbucks has some good benefits. Some people actually plan on becoming a barista in retirement so that they can get health insurance because Starbucks has very good health insurance. But just because a company has good benefits or pays fairly well, it doesn't mean that employees don't have the right to still unionize and even demand even more than they're getting from a company. So these 7 folks from Memphis Starbucks were trying to form a union, and they were coincidentally fired by Starbucks, who says, "Oh, it's not because they were trying to form a union. We just
mhm.
didn't like them." Um, and their case came before the Supreme Court about 2 weeks ago. So the Supreme Court of the United States will be deciding, you know, well, we know we have a conservative Supreme Court, so that's kind of not so great,
Mhm.
but they will be deciding their case. So, um, these are look at these people. They're just like some, you know,
Totally normal.
Gen Z, whatever, like,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yep.
totally normal people. Their case could change the law in the US.
I hope so.
So, say like knowledge is power. This is the kind of power that workers actually do have, see how it goes. But um
Amazing.
PT says I have little to no faith in our Supreme Court,
Mm.
our entire system, to be honest.
Yeah.
This is great news. Did anyone hear about this? This is the
No.
first auto plant in the South to unionize since the 1940s,
Awesome.
back in FDR days. And it's the first auto plant of a foreign car company in the US, because a lot of foreign car companies, they're still manufactured in the US. They're like designed and everything elsewhere, but many of the factories are here. Um, yeah, first foreign owned auto plant in the South to unionize. And that guy is the president of the United Auto Workers, and he feels confident that um, more companies will follow.
Let's hope.
Good.
Yeah.
And even if those kids lose the case, the Supreme Court case, maybe it
Hmm.
will embolden others.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to be optimistic here.
Yeah. All right. Back to fashion. I
FKA
thought both of these
Twigs.
looked sort of like aliens or something.
Yeah. Well, FKA Twigs looks like one of those dogs.
Sheepdog.
Oh,
Not
a
a sheepdog,
pulley?
but like the
Oh, Afghans. Is that what?
no.
No, it's a
No.
pulley.
What's a
Pulley.
pulley?
Google it.
Yes, exactly.
Oh.
Pool
They're
or
like
Puli.
dreadlock dogs.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I really like this on the right, Anuk Yai. I don't know who that
Yeah.
is, but that is cool. It looks like it's
Yeah.
glowing.
Yes.
I like it too.
Well, just like her shape too is so unusual.
Mm.
Hmm.
Her legs
I,
are very long.
yes,
Yes.
I like the contrast of like how dark her skin is and then into the blue. It's really pretty.
Hmm.
Perfect fade. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. Very cool. Couple of guys.
I don't
He
Couple of
know
looks
who.
like a freaking sherbet.
Couple of moids.
I don't know who either of these people are either. No.
They're both men.
Are
Great.
those are bug antenna, right?
I think probably like a butterfly of
It
some
does
kind.
look like a, yeah,
Yeah, he's
definitely.
like a moth.
It looks like that, yeah. Lily says wedding cake topper. They both kind of look like wedding cake toppers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely has that like sort of like a minty toothpaste.
Yeah.
All I see is that the sherbet that we used to have as kids. I don't know if you had it, but it's basically just sweet ice cream like stuff that is colored like that. You know,
Yes.
sometimes it's called sorbet, but up here we called it sherbet.
Oh, or sherbet.
Sherbet.
Sherbert.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I want to just say Adrian's comment. Anok's outfit looks like something a designer would tell you to avoid drinking water long before. Yeah, that's true.
in
How
and
would you
out.
pee in that?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, you would not.
You know, that's true for a lot of these outfits, actually. How does anybody pee?
Good point. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't hate like the right outfit.
No, I don't hate it either.
I appreciate that it's not just a regular old gown, so
Yeah,
whatever.
true.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely am snarking on it, but it is kind of cool, yeah.
Drag pageant queens.
But
Oh,
yeah,
Hari Neff is the guy who manipulated his way into the Barbie movie, right?
I don't
He
know.
is like an actor.
They're both
Hmm.
people of gender.
He,
So
People of
the
gender.
guy on the right, I'm not sure is a person of gender
he
or
is,
he's.
I
Oh, he
looked,
is. Okay.
non-binary and uses she, they, them
Mhm.
pronouns.
Oh, never mind.
Sorry to burst your bubble.
And Bloomberg's
As in like, oh yeah, I was gonna say as in the Bloombergs, but yes,
Mayor
106
Bloomberg.
billion, yes.
Yep. More rich
Woof.
people.
I hate
Yeah.
every single one of those outfits.
What is we
They're
got
all
some
boring.
Yeah.
Morticia vibes going on.
Morticia would kill the Met Gala, let's be real.
I know she would.
She's an icon.
I don't mind like the woman on the left, but it just looks like she's going to prom. I don't know.
Yeah, it's out of place.
They're rich, so they don't have to try too hard.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh,
One common way that employers abuse workers is by treating them as independent contractors. Do we know the difference between employees and independent contractors?
Yes, I do.
somewhat.
Well, we mentioned, I think Existential mentioned earlier, that independent contractors get a 1099 and
Mm.
employees get a W 2. Radical's Canadian, so she doesn't know what the hell
I
that
don't get
means.
either of these. No.
It's a tax form.
We call those T4s.
Mm.
Okay, well, the big difference is that people who get 1099s have to pay their own portion of Social Security and Medicare tax, which is 7.5% of your income. If you work as an employee, your employer pays that tax. So it's like a tax dodge, it's a worker abuse. It happens very frequently. People will be totally just employees, like by every characteristic, and the employer will say, "Oh, I'm just going to pay you as an independent contractor."
Oh, so they
Yep.
won't get the rights or benefits of an employee.
Oh, exactly.
Exactly, right, and that's another thing, and I don't have that on this list. I have a little list here, but employees do typically get benefits. They get things like paid vacation, they
Right.
get holidays, they get
Health
health
stuff.
insurance.
Yeah,
Yes,
sick time, stuff like that.
exactly. Independent contractors do not get that. There are benefits to being an independent contractor somewhat, or you could think of it like that, because I am one, so I kind of try to justify it to myself. But having the independence to work when you want, take days off when you want, you do have a lot of freedom as an independent contractor, but you pay for it, right? You pay
Mm.
for it and having to pay higher taxes and you don't get benefits.
Right.
So, Abby says, yes, I do a side job and I'm literally just an employee, but they give me a 1099 and not a W-2. They didn't tell me this when they hired me. I had that exact experience too. I was literally just an employee and they paid me with a 1099. And again, it's, total tax dodge for them. It's an abuse of workers. And I've talked to other people and it's very common. Like,
Yeah.
this is why I'm mentioning is because, and it's super illegal, but a lot of people feel that they don't have the power, like, oh, well, my employer, they've got lawyers and they're a big company, whatever, and they'll just fire me if I complain about it.
Mm.
So the difference is an independent contractor is paid per job or per task. An employee is paid a fixed hourly wage annual salary. You get a paycheck every 2 weeks. It's exactly the same, or, based on your hours or whatever. Like, someone working at McDonald's, say, like, they are an employee, right? They might work different shifts every week. Their schedule might change. They might even make a different amount of money every time, but they're like definitely an employee.
Right.
Yep.
Another difference is independent contractor has flexibility in hours and location that you work. These can vary a little bit. There's some variety too. Sometimes it has to be looked at a case by case basis what
Right.
you actually are, because you might fit some characteristics and not others. But generally, employee has a fixed hours set job site. Independent contractor is basically your own manager. You make high level decisions. Employee typically have a manager who oversees your performance. Even if you're at a managerial level, you still have a manager
Right.
above you.
Mm-hmm.
And then an independent contractor tends to market yourself. You do your own administrative work. You're basically your own little company. And an employee works for a company that does its own marketing and administration. So yeah, if you're an independent contractor, you're kind of like, you may have multiple different clients. You don't work just for one company, or you could just work for one company, but they're, considered a client because you have the freedom to, make your own decisions and those kinds of
Right.
things. So yeah, that's that. But I want people to, when I was putting this together, I was like, what are some things that people might not know,
Mhm.
And these are the kinds of things that give you power, just to have this knowledge and hopefully spread this knowledge to other people who might need it too. Like, this is how we get power as little people,
Mhm.
Yeah.
is through, not, they don't teach you this stuff in school. They don't teach you what your rights are,
Mm-mm. That
you
would go
know?
against well, that's a
Brainwashing.
spicy take, I guess. I don't know. Maybe not here, but yeah.
No, probably not a spicy take here.
No. The whole school system is just setting you up to be exploited.
A worker
Yeah,
bee.
absolutely. Right.
Yeah.
Yes, we know that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. Here is a guy, I don't know if any Australians out there, probably not, given that it's kind of late there.
Mm.
But he's an Australian billionaire.
Yeah.
Barbecue flavor.
Really? You become a billionaire
No,
from
no, I don't know. No, I was saying because
Oh,
Australia.
the Barbie. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. I thought you were being serious. I was like,
Um,
how do you become a billionaire from that?
no, but he kind of looks like Willy Wonka or
I was
something.
gonna say
Yes.
Willy Wonka.
What
It's-
is like his there's like some applicate, like, says something on his
Well, those are recycling symbols.
oh,
100%
that's kind of interesting.
I think it says 100% recycled. He is the executive chairman of Vicey Industries, the world's largest privately owned packaging and paper company. So
Okay.
I guess, recycling.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Mm. Hmm.
Something else that's really important is that strong unions raise wages for everyone. So when a lot of people participate in unions and your industry has high union participation, your wages are going to be higher even if you're not in a union. So that's another thing I wanted people to know. Um, so, for example, a worker whose workplace is non union, but the industry is 25% unionized will earn 5% more than similar workers in a less unionized industry. So this is the importance of unions, is that they raise wages for everyone. And this is why rich people are so anti-union, because higher wages for you means they're going to have $9 billion instead of $10 billion. We
Mhm.
can't have that.
And they can't trick you into working for free.
True. And Ballistic says rich people be like ecology, then take a private plane just to go to the kitchen and grab a cup of water.
For real.
Union membership has dropped in half over the last 40 years.
That's a
Mhm.
lot.
There's a lot of propaganda, though.
Yes. Oh, we lost you, then we got you back.
Who?
Existential.
Oh,
Popped on, popped off.
what?
I don't
No,
know.
Not on
Maybe
my
it's your
end.
internet connection. Maybe it's
Oh.
mine. I don't know.
I have
Okay.
the highest internet. This is a travesty.
Oh, okay. Well, the first year they started keeping track of union participation was 1983. So that's the first year we have data from. And it probably was higher even in the 70s, 60s. But
For sure.
yeah, it's fallen a lot. And what does that mean? That means that, you know,
Yeah, why?
as union participation has fallen, wages have also fallen. Wages have stagnated over the same period. So look at this. This is so mind-boggling. 1983, a CEO made 46 times the average worker. Still pretty obscene, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still pretty obscene. But today, the average CEO makes $24 million a year.
Oh my god.
$2 million a month, $500,000 a week, $100,000 a day.
Wow.
That's what the average CEO in America makes. The average worker makes $70,000 a year, which I think is really high. I guess I'm poor. Whatever. Okay.
$100,000 a day, while the average worker is making $70,000 a year.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's stunning. Wow.
It's stunning.
Yeah.
It's stunning. PTT says there is a lot of union busting in my field and where I work too. It's upsetting. I work in healthcare and it's all the major hospitals that shut them down.
Yeah, I
Yep.
work in healthcare as well, and I am in a union. And my union is in negotiations right now with my
Oh, nice.
employer.
Yeah. That's
Thank
good.
you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's rage inducing, as it should be.
Mm-hmm.
All increases. This is rage inducing to me. You guys ready? All increases in worker productivity over the past 4 years have been captured by the wealthy class. None have gone to workers. Workers are working harder. They are working more efficiently. They are working more productively. They are using technology to get their work done better. And they have not had a wage increase at all. All of that extra money has gone to the Bezoses of the world. And this is a perfect graph that shows this inflection point in 1973. Not sure what happened in 1973, but I can tell you that union participation has been declining this whole time, and I really think there is a connection. So look at that. The productivity has gone up. Hourly compensation has stayed the same.
Yeah. I see
Wow.
people in denial in my real life about wage stagnation.
Yeah.
They don't want to believe it.
Right. Your purchasing power. I mean, but we see it's like all around, like millennials struggling to buy a house or whatever, things that were kind of easier for previous generations.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I can't even buy a house. I'm Gen X.
Yeah.
I would need so much money for a down payment to even compete with the bidding on a house.
Yes.
Like I could probably afford, maybe a $250,000 house with the wages, but I would have to front so much money and And then the house you get for that price is so much worse than what you would have gotten 20 years ago.
Right.
Yes.
Mhm.
Like I'd probably get a fixer-upper for that,
Mhm.
something that needs new septic.
Right.
And then there's more money. It's like,
Right.
what? Even mobile homes are in New Hampshire, they're like 250 grand for a mobile home. A
Yeah.
trailer.
Right. Exactly.
Love this world we live in.
I
Isn't it
know. It's
great?
so fun. Well, I was thinking about it today, like how many streams and videos there's going to be on YouTube of people just reviewing the looks
Yeah.
at the Met Gala, and people are going to watch those and they're going to be like, "Ooh, entertaining, bread and circus," right? And then they're
Mhm.
going to go to the grocery store later that day or the next day and they're going to be like, "Damn, I cannot afford to buy cheese."
Yeah.
And they're not seeing the connection between these two things. The fact that there's these obscenely wealthy people and the fact that you can't afford groceries.
Mhm.
Yeah.
In Canada right now, there's kind of a nationwide movement happening. Yeah, Adrian's comment. Oh my god. But there's kind of a nationwide movement happening right now to boycott Loblaws. Do you guys have Loblaws?
Mm-mm.
It's
Uh,
a chain of like grocery
oh
stores,
no.
Okay.
groceries and big box stores. Anyway, because the pricing is insane and no one can afford to eat, right? And the boycott started on May 1st, and people are really sticking to it. So let's hope it makes some actual change
Good.
because it's obscene.
Yeah,
Obscene, the prices of stuff.
I'm
Mm.
assuming Loblaws is like a monopoly in a lot of areas. Like if you
Yeah,
can't go to Loblaws, you can't go anywhere.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Mm.
And they
And yet,
own like a lot of stuff. Like they own multiple like brands of grocery stores.
oh,
And like our version of like CVS is Shoppers Drug Mart. They own those as well. So
Wow.
yeah. Anyway, here's
Um,
hoping.
at the same time that the wealthiest Americans are stealing our
Mhm.
productivity gains from us, the workers, they are paying less in taxes. The top marginal tax right now is theoretically 37%, which is half of what it was in FDR's time. Remember from earlier, the top marginal tax rate that FDR set in place was 75%.
Right.
Somebody mentioned Ronald Reagan earlier. We have him to thank for tax breaks. But, you know, look at Trump. He did a lot for, giving tax breaks to wealthy people. And this is the importance of
Like,
voting and voting for Democrats is they don't do this
mhm.
why do billionaires need tax breaks? Like, why is that a thing?
because they're fucking greedy.
It's
Mhm. It's
insane.
never enough.
Why should the insanely wealthy get off on not paying appropriate taxes?
That's their fetish.
Like, I know,
Yep.
but how, like, it's just shocking to me that that even became a thing because it, explain like I'm five how this makes sense,
Because I think,
right?
well, Lisa might have a different opinion, but I think it's because of the American, like, I earn this money. I don't want to be taxed on this money. But
Right.
it ignores all of the exploitation that billionaires have to do, and also
Yeah,
generational wealth, which has nothing to do with how hard you work.
correct.
And
But it's like, if you live in a society, you have to pay fucking taxes.
Well, also, like someone like any of these, I rag on Jeff Bezos. I think it's well deserved, but like, his trucks use the roads that we all pay for. His workers are educated at the public schools that we all pay for, but he doesn't
Mhm.
want to pay for any of this stuff. And that's crazy is these billionaires, their companies use all the resources that we collectively all pay for, but they don't want to contribute. They're like, oh, everyone
nope.
else will just pay for that.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the conversation I have with libertarians. They're like, I don't want to be forced to be taxed. I want to be able to freely give. And I was like, do you really think that people
No
would
one would.
freely? No, they wouldn't. They already don't.
Right.
It's the lighthouse uh, thing. You know, everyone wants to use the lighthouse. Nobody wants to pay for the lighthouse.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
So,
But that mindset is very popular in America.
yes, it is. We have very individualistic
Mhm.
mindset, and yeah, we do have this idea like we glorify these people, and I really think honestly, this kind of like, oh, look at what they wore at the Met Gala. I've made this commentary the last 2 years since I've been making political videos or whatever. Like, it's really disgusts me. Actually,
Yeah.
you know, it's like, yeah, it's fun for the aesthetic stuff or whatever, but like we're doing it and also criticizing it. Like the uncritical look at this stuff. What,
Hmm.
you know,
Yeah,
the
when it's just like the yes, queen. Oh my god, bears.
Yeah,
Like
this whole
yeah,
stream really makes the Met Gala look like a giant middle finger to all of us.
it is.
it
That's
is.
exactly what it is.
Yeah.
I I you know, and I did a video a couple years ago. I reposted it the other day, but like I really think this is I think, or I don't know, I hope we're at this inflection point of like the French Revolution.
Revolution. Off with their heads.
Yeah.
It's so unethical and immoral for these people to even exist, let alone flaunt this in everyone's face while there are 11 million children in the US who don't know where their next meal is coming from
Hmm.
and are just hoping that they'll get food somehow.
Yep.
That's sickens me.
I have a lot of thoughts on that. But yeah, I think they actively work on destabilizing society by making people sick and addicted.
Mhm.
And
Oh,
I
absolutely.
I don't know if I believe that it's all just coincidence. You know,
No,
we've
of
got
course it's not.
no, because these people are the ones that own all the companies that do all of
Exactly.
this.
The same people are invested in companies that give you diabetes, and they're
Yeah.
also invested in
Q-
diabetes drug manufacturers.
Right. Yes. Yeah, that's a perfect example.
Yeah. And right. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
um, I think this is our final look and our final billionaire here. Shao Zi Chu. Do we know who this is?
No.
Mm-mm.
He is the CEO of TikTok. TikTok
Oh.
sued the US government today, saying that eliminating their platform here is a violation of Americans' freedom of speech because this is a way for Americans to communicate. The American government is saying, you know, the Congress passed and Biden signed legislation that would shut down TikTok as of next January because they believe the Chinese government is using it to spy on Americans and also, I believe, spread disinformation about political issues.
Yeah, it's full of propaganda.
Oh
How
yeah, it
is
is.
that free
Yeah, it is,
speech?
and it's also very censorious of ideas it does not like that
Oh,
are
yeah.
really specific, including feminist stuff.
Yeah.
Talking about male violence, can't say
Oh,
that on there.
no. I mean, you can't even say the word kill on TikTok.
Right.
You have to say
Unalive.
unalive.
That's
And
crazy.
Ugh.
but they're going to bring a case of free speech to us.
Yeah, you have to use so many
Right,
euphemisms to
exactly.
get
Yeah,
around
I think
everything.
I think it's kind of a disgusting thing in my opinion. Um,
Yeah.
Fax Machine says the Met Gala is a vile orgy of vanity and excess.
Yep.
Agreed.
Yep. That's
Uh,
perfectly distilled. Yes.
yes, definitely. So let's end with this. Who
The
knows what?
minimum wage. I'm sorry.
Well, that's what it is.
Sorry, I
Shout
gave
it
it
out.
away.
That's
Yes.
the minimum wage. The minimum wage in the US
Wow.
is about to turn 15 years old.
Yep.
We have
That's
not had an
crazy.
increase in the minimum wage since July of 2009. And again,
That's crazy.
the overarching theme of the stream was unions.
Yeah.
And I really think there's a connection of all this stuff to the lack of union participation and kind of an apathy too amongst voters, amongst workers, and feeling like a resignation that this is all we deserve.
It really is. Yeah, because I watch videos about the minimum wage and about how it needs to be raised, and it's filled with comments with people being like, well, that's what they deserve. You expect to get more money for flipping burgers? Those jobs are for teenagers. You're spoiled asking for more than that. It's like, is everybody devoid of empathy?
And yet we don't question whether billionaires need more money, but
No.
we do question whether someone needs more than $7.25.
Yeah.
I can't believe that it's that low. Like
Yeah.
I converted it to like Canadian dollars, and like Canadian Alberta minimum wage where I live is 11 US dollars. And that's low to me
Still
as
not
well.
great.
Like
Yeah.
it's,
Mm.
how I can't
What is
imagine.
it in Massachusetts?
Oh, that's a good question, actually. I have no idea.
It's 1569 in Connecticut.
Let me find out.
Nice.
$15 in Massachusetts.
Yeah. Which is still very low for the cost of living here.
Yeah. Yep. 15. Yep.
Um,
It is. You're not gonna. You still need roommates at $15 an hour.
Oh
oh
yeah,
yeah, you do.
I'm shocked at the 725. Like how do you like how does a person afford anything at all?
Hazel says
Like
725 in Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Also, New Hampshire.
what the
Yeah.
That's crazy. I was like literally thought it's like maybe the South, like Louisiana or something.
Nope. The more freedom they love, the lower the minimum wage, I've noticed.
That's fricked up, dude.
uh,
Oh
I know.
man.
And in those
okay,
minimum wage. Oh, sorry.
sorry. I was just gonna say I looked at what Canada's federal minimum wage is, and it's 12.50 US federally.
Yeah. I mean, still
Well,
not great, but it's not 725. Like, that's literally nothing.
That's no, I how can anyone be paid that?
I don't know. And then if I say in those comments that it's not all just teenagers and unskilled people, some people, that's their full-time job. Like, they work there and that's all they can get. And they have disdain for these people. They're like, well, maybe they should have gone to school. Maybe they should have done something else.
Oh
They're
my
just
God.
losers,
right.
losers working at McDonald's for 7.25 an hour. Like,
This is so
Also,
upsetting.
it's like, do you want the person making your food to be like
oh, I mean,
that poor?
they, yeah, they do. I don't know what kind of sick thrill they get out of saying things like
Yeah, but
that.
also I'm like very food paranoid,
That's,
but
yeah.
like, you know what I mean? Like,
Hey, as long as you don't say that to their face, then maybe they won't spit in your burger.
yeah.
They don't
Oh,
ever say that to these people. They'll just make these kind of comments.
I know,
Or,
but I'm just saying in general, like,
yeah,
do you want some
because they're like unhappy and struggling.
right, like Burger King foot lettuce, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, well,
it's like that, right? You want people who like actually care about the job, I don't know.
you would think so, but that's not really the attitude that employers and a lot of people have.
Hmm.
And that
I'm-
I mean, I'm just speaking from what I see in
Yeah.
America, but like we have a you'll get what you get and not get upset attitude.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I am so upset about all of this.
We're
Like
traumatizing the Canadian tonight.
$7. I can't like that's like a block of cheese.
Right, and you
Uh-huh.
think that that's renting a person.
Yeah.
You can rent a human being for $7 an hour. What else can you rent for $7 an hour? You're gonna go rent a truck or something
No.
to like, a van or whatever. Like everything, you're gonna rent a van, it's like $100 an hour or something. But you can rent a human being's brain and body for $7 an hour.
Yeah. Watch a blue collar worker demand $30 an hour and get treated like he
Is
is,
entitled.
yeah, or acting like it's such a huge amount of money.
You can't rent anything. You can't rent any inanimate object for $7 an hour.
No.
No.
one
I don't
Starbucks drink.
I
Yeah, I
don't
think, what did they say? The minimum wage is 2 hash browns an hour or something.
you
Oh
can't
my
even get a
God.
streaming service anymore for
No.
$7 an hour. They've jacked up all the prices.
Oh my God. Oh my
What
God.
I mean, a month, but you know what I mean. Even if it was,
Yeah.
I realized that was a bad analogy after I said it, but it was still $7 is not a lot of money.
I can't afford my clinical. No, this is okay. $75,000. That is what one ticket, not 2 tickets, not a table. That's one ticket to this event. Price of a Met Gala ticket. It at working at minimum wage, it would take you 5 years to earn the price of one evening at the Met Gala.
Oh my God.
But this shouldn't make you depressed, because knowledge is power. And that's why I want to talk about this stuff, because, we have the right to demand more.
Mm-hmm.
We have the right to demand more.
Thanks, FDR.
Yeah,
Yes.
we just need to notice that we're in a cage. I think that's the problem.
Mm.
People aren't noticing it.
Well, we're noticing it, and all the people who are watching this are
True.
noticing it.
Yes.
And, you know, Amazon's first union was formed by 2 guys
Mm.
talking to each other in one of their apartments.
Yeah.
And now they have a union. So powerful, Amazon tried everything to dismantle it. This is they wouldn't try so hard and they wouldn't propagandize if it wasn't
Mm.
powerful.
Good point.
Yeah. That ties into feminism too,
Absolutely.
because everything men tell us is empowering isn't, and everything they want to keep us from is actual power. So if you want to know what the real power is, look at what men fight us against, like fight against us for.
Yes,
And that'll give you a clue.
exactly. So I hope that someone takes something away from this, even if they just learned a little bit about employment law. Or whatever, just, some energy or something. Or maybe you just like the fashion.
Yeah. Radical learned too much tonight.
I'm still recovering over 725.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
too upset.
it's hard to hear, and it's like, there's not even any legislation on the table to change that,
No.
you know? So
Yeah. And
we have
unfortunately,
to demand better.
yeah. And I hope that the next generation will change minds, because it's not just the people at the top, it's people in my own, like, I'm blue collar, right? Pretty much. It's
Yeah.
people on my own level in my own life that are also anti-union and think $7 is it's what they get, you know? It's like the
Yeah.
attitude.
Yeah.
And they're usually older, older people, but
Mhm.
hopefully the younger people.
Well, that's my biggest frustration right now is 18 to 34-year-olds, which make a huge population of the voting contingent in this country.
Mhm.
2/3 of them do not care who the next president is.
That's
Oh
just crazy
no.
to me.
And they have to start seeing that there are connections between who is president, as we saw, like FDR versus Ronald Reagan,
Yes.
that they have material impacts on how our day-to-day lives end up being, what you make per hour, whether
It
you have the right to bargain with your job, whether you have the right to unionize, and those kinds of things.
it is wild to me that the Gen Z is stereotyped as being like the most social justice woke.
Conscious. Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't care about this. It's, I'm starting to agree with the
The boomers.
no, there's this idea that all of the woke power struggles are a distraction from
Mm.
like
Oh, yeah.
class, all the identity politics.
Yes, I go through that about every, 3 or 4 months where I'm like,
Mhm.
"You're
Yeah.
right." They're right. It is. And because, but
Yeah.
my one issue with that is they will,
Yeah,
yeah, you know
I
what
know
I'm saying?
exactly
Like,
what you're gonna say. They think
these
being female is an identity.
exactly, and they think that feminism is identity politics, and that's
Yeah.
where I disagree because no matter you're rich, poor,
Mm-hmm.
communism, socialism, capitalism, Stone Ages, cave people, whatever, men have always oppressed women, and that's our
Right.
first source of oppression as women.
Mm.
I totally agree with you, and I think that's the big disconnect with the stupid pole bros and
Exactly.
the woke, the woke bro, the lefty boys who want to
Yep.
be like, it's
I've
all
talked
about
about it.
class.
Except for when it comes
Exactly.
to women.
Well,
Exactly. And well, women are a class. They don't like this is again, they don't see it's like people don't see women as a class. People don't see women's labor as labor, you know?
Right.
No, it's
Um,
just
Mm.
obligation and woman is an identity.
the
You can
only
just
concession I can give to that is that like for say we just totally forget feminism for a second and we say fine, okay, let's just fight for workers' rights. Women are disproportionately benefited then because
yeah,
women make up more of the lower and working class.
true.
So if it could be a sneaky way to actually get these anti-feminist like communist dudes or whatever to fight on our behalf is to, you know,
Yeah.
say, yeah, sure, let's do this worker struggle thing.
Well,
And
we
then
just have to hope they don't turn around and then start talking about distributing sex to the working man
Oh my
or
god.
instituting state-sponsored prostitution.
Girlfriends. Oh my
right.
Yeah,
god.
or the girlfriend experience. Come get yours today. Like
Mm.
no.
Exactly. And I don't know. I feel like some of those like stupid poll guys, like they are very they're up on that like prostitution is
Oh
evil and
yeah.
stuff like that, you know.
Some of them
Um,
are, but a
some of
lot
them
of
are.
leftist guys. Oh, I think a lot of those stupid poll guys are like straight up MRAs and incels.
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
there's not even any question.
I made a video about it. There was another subreddit about anti-work or whatever.
Oh my
And
Yeah.
they had a
god.
whole thing about how prostitution's real work and we have to
Mm-mm.
support women who do it and it's good for society. Blah, blah, blah. Like,
Ugh.
We are
um,
not things
You
and
made a video about
right.
that,
commodities.
Lisa.
I did.
I need to
'Cause
watch that again.
It
yeah,
was so good.
I've seen your stupid poll one recently. I
yeah.
revisited it and it was good because I
Yeah,
hate that.
I
I
haven't
like
been
hate
on
that subreddit.
yeah, I haven't been on there since then. Maybe I've been on like once or something, but yeah.
I'm sure you're not missing much.
No,
Um, yeah.
I used to
Let's
go on a lot, but you could just get smacked in the face with incel shit.
they
And then,
started they started having a lot of like anti-Ukraine stuff too. And I
yeah,
was just that kind of
What?
was a blah, blah. Which
yeah.
again, I kind of agree with the whole like forever war crap. I posted about that the other day. Like I totally disagree. Like that, uh, you know, why are we in the Middle East, etc. Totally different topic, but you know what I mean. Um, anyways,
No, I agree with that too.
yeah,
I think
it's.
we stick our nose where it doesn't belong a lot of times.
I agree. I think there are things that are sort of existential crises for the globe that, like, okay,
But are
we
they doing it for that reason, or is there some kind of
yeah,
financial motive?
well,
That's where my
the
mind always goes.
the motive is that these companies are making like billions of dollars selling weapons to these
Well, yeah,
places.
there you go. Like, is
So,
it at the crisis level where we have to intervene, like World War II? I don't think that a lot of these institutions could say yes. They just
right.
dive right in right away.
Hmm.
It's the only way they can make money.
Yeah.
Um, Robert McNamara warned us about the military industrial complex.
Mm.
When your economy
Yes.
relies on this huge sector of selling weapons of war, then you have to have wars to keep them
Yep.
going.
Peacetime is not profitable.
Oh my
Correct.
god. This is so upsetting.
I'm sorry, Radical.
I'm having a bad time.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well I'm over my screen time anyways. I'm in the grace period, but only for a moment or two more. Let's see. I just wanted to Go back in the comments for a second. Tori said, awesome lesson.
Yeah, it
Lily
was
says,
great.
I've learned a lot. Thanks, Teach. Wish she could have joined us. So Lily's a little shy bean. Fax Machine said, someone on Twitter commented, read the gala, that we're living in the Hunger Games. The gala is a capital party, and we're expected not to be upset by this display of outsize. Well,
Yeah, it's very capital Hunger Games.
I've never seen it, but yeah, it sounds like it.
It's literally the Met Gala.
Okay.
Yeah. Sloan says, why are people not having kids? $7.25 is not enough to raise a family.
Yeah.
People are just lazy. They can't work
You
3
couldn't raise
jobs
a
and
fish, a pet
yeah.
fish on that.
Pet fish.
Peacetime is
Oh.
not profitable. Oof. Okay, so we're going to wrap up. I appreciate you joining me. Both of your contributions were so wonderful and irreplaceable. I don't know.
Oh,
Is that the
thank
right
you.
word? Yeah.
Yeah, it was so
Great
fun.
job. Makes it so much easier for me.
Thanks for putting this together, Lisa, again.
Yeah.
Thanks. I did it for free. So speaking of exploited workers, I exploited myself. Yeah, thanks guys. Thanks everyone in the chat. Chat was like not many people here, but chat was like very healthy today. So
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Mm.
Everyone seemed to resonate.
We have very
The
smart people in our chats.
topic. Yeah,
Yeah.
only smart. I know
Oh.
it's a little cerebral, and that's good. We weed out the chaff, the people who don't get it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes. Very good.
But this information is for everyone.
Oh, of
Yes.
course. And it's
So
beneficial to everyone.
yes. And Adrian's glad to hear EG joined the mix tonight.
Me too.
Yeah.
Awesome stream.
Thank you. I'm here a lot now.
Yeah.
great.
Oh, and Existential Gamer is making content on her own channel.
Yeah. I've actually dove in.
Yeah. You're going.
On fire.
I'm honestly like a little like how kind of jealous. Like how
Lisa.
do you like so much energy?
I know.
Like,
I have
refresh
like
my
it's just me
YouTube
in front. It's like front of a camera. I have like no editing at all. I'm just like, oh, just gonna post a video.
No, it's wonderful. Every time I refresh my feed, I'm like, oh, a new one.
Yay!
I have to catch up because I haven't been able to in the last 2 days.
Yeah.
well, so you're like doing what I wish I would do, which is like I have this long ass list.
Yes, you do,
I mean,
Lisa.
yeah, no, and
Yeah.
it,
I've seen
and
it.
every time I'm like, I'm not gonna keep lists of video ideas anymore, and then I do, and I have like 3 of these lists that are like hundreds of ideas.
Well, I have the same thing. I use notes and I put just topics on a list and I just talk like I don't even
Ramble.
have a script. I listen back
Yeah.
to my videos and I'm like, boy, I have a lot of filler words and everything I say.
I do it
Like,
the same style though. I just record and
yeah.
what comes out comes out.
But I'm just like, you know
Yeah.
what? F it. F it. I'm just gonna if an idea pops into my head, why not just talk about it for a couple minutes? And
I think it's actually really important to do it that way because
thank you.
like
It's very validating.
It's like it's the rawest of who you are.
well, and it's
Like,
also so much
you're
better
not
to just get
overthinking
it
it.
out than like than to
Oh my
like
God,
have
yeah.
it sit on a list and be like, oh, I'll get to that when I can say it perfectly. You
Yeah,
know?
exactly. And even after I'm done some of them, I'm like, oh man, I could have said that thing. Oh, but then I can maybe I can do a follow-up, do another
Yeah,
one.
exactly.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
again,
no
the
biggie,
YouTube
right?
algorithm loves continual posting.
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
gonna get up there. I'm already up to almost 100 subscribers, and it
Dang,
blows me away. I'm like,
Damn.
what the hell? Okay, I
There
guess
you
they like
go.
my lazy content. All right,
Good for you. All right.
Very good.
thank you.
You guys are welcome to stay for a moment or two. I'm going to end the stream now. Thank you everyone for joining. I will be back on Friday. I don't have a
Thanks, everybody.
topic, so if
Ooh.
there's something that is burning a hole in your pocket, anyone just comment it somewhere. Oh, also, the best way if you want to support this stream, there's not that many people here left, but I'm going to end the stream, refresh it, come back, leave a comment, say whose outfit you liked, say, unions are great. Say cool video. I really don't care.
Cool
Just
video.
any comment, just a thumbs up emoji, whatever. And Radical Ramblings is streaming with Rusty on Thursday evening.
Yes.
So visit her and then come back to my channel Friday stream 1 p.m.
Nice.
the drill.
It'll be
Okay.
nice to hear Rusty again.
Yeah, she's
It's been a
the
Yeah,
while.
she's so high energy.
And hilarious. She makes me
Yeah,
she makes me laugh out loud all the
I
time.
know, she's the best. Leave
All
a
right.
comment on Lisa's on this
Yes,
stream.
leave a comment.
Yeah.
I'm ending it now. Come back and leave a comment.
For the algorithm.
Yay. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.